Tyreek Hill is back making headlines for off the field antics. I think it's time for the Dolphins to move on from Tyreek. No, I'm pretty sure I'm positive it's time for the Dolphins to move on from Tyreek Hill. We'll talk about it on today's show. Let's get after it. You're listening to the DolphinsTalk.com podcast, the most listened to daily Miami Dolphins podcast on the internet.
Miami's got the Dolphins, the greatest football
Come on, Dolphins fans. Time to fins up.
We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl. Cause we're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one.
Good afternoon, Miami Dolphins fans. How are you today? And thank you for listening to the DolphinsTalk.com podcast on this Wednesday, April the 9th. I am your host, Mike Oliva. We got some Tyreek Hill news to talk about as he made headlines this afternoon with more off-the-field antics. So we'll talk about it all on today's show. If you're watching this on YouTube, please be sure to smash that like button. Really helps us out with the algorithm. Take a second, smash a like button. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel as well if you're watching on YouTube. And if you put up a comment, and I'm sure you might have some comments about what I'm going to say on today's show, I'll do my best to respond to each and every one of them. So put up a comment down in the comments below. Before I get into the Tyreek stuff, a shout out to the sponsor of today's show, Caneswear. Everyone go to the website, caneswear.com. They have the best and most affordable Miami Dolphins apparel on the internet. If you need a hat, jersey, jacket, hoodie, t-shirt, polo, golf shirt, socks, anything with the Miami Dolphins logo on it, go to the website caneswear.com. They will ship internationally as well, but they have the very best stuff for the Dolphins and the most affordable Miami Dolphins apparel on the internet. They also have stuff for the Miami Hurricanes, the Florida Panthers, the Miami Heat, Miami Marlins, Florida Gators, Florida State. They got some stuff too, but for the Dolphins, if you're watching this podcast, go to caneswear.com. They're the best. And if you haven't signed up for it yet, Friday night, April 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern, we are doing an interactive mock draft where everyone's going to be assigned a team or two, but this is only happening on Dolphins Talk Extra. So you have to be a Dolphins Talk Extra subscriber. Go to patreon.com/Dolphins Talk. It's $3 a month. And for $3 a month, you get access to our private message board. You get access to the bonus podcast that we do, extra podcasts, hence the name Extra, on the Dolphins. Some not about the Dolphins. We do pro wrestling, music, Major League Baseball, NBA, and everything else. Bonus podcast. And also all the contests we run where we give away autographs or bobblehead dolls or hats and clothing about the Dolphins, brand new apparel. You're automatically entered. You do not have to do anything. You're automatically entered in those contests. So go to patreon.com/Dolphins Talk. $3 a month. Sign up. And if you want to be a part of this interactive mock draft where you will be assigned a team or two and be the general manager of that team on Friday night, April 18th, sign up once you become a member. The deadline to sign up is this Friday, so you got about 2 more days. All right, let's talk about Tyreek Hill, who once again is in the news, and it's not for a good reason. He was in a domestic dispute with his wife on Monday. The police report kind of went public today, and that's when it spread like a wildfire all over the internet. To be clear up front, no arrest was made, so Tyreek was not arrested. But from the report, which I will read here in a minute before I give my thoughts, it's not a good situation. It's just not a good situation. There's no defense of this anymore. It's just one thing after another. But yeah, it's just, this time I shouldn't say another. This time it's a domestic dispute with his wife. And WPLG News in South Florida, they were the ones I saw who had it first. So I want to give them credit. And here's their report with what's in the police report and everything. Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill was involved in a domestic dispute with his wife at his high-rise condominium in Sunny Isles Beach on Monday. Officers with the Sunny Isles Beach Police Department responded just before 2 p.m. following a report of an assault in progress. When they arrived, they spoke with Tyreek Hill, his wife, Keta Hill, and her mother, Elisa Vicario. Vicario, the mother, told the officer she has been living with Tyreek and her daughter shortly after they had her granddaughter. The mom said Hill was very aggressive and impulsive, and she feared for her daughter's safety. Authorities said that the mother called the police, claiming she witnessed Tyreek throw a laptop on the floor, then grabbed her daughter and began to walk towards the balcony on the 35th floor of their residence following an argument with his wife. Keta Hill, the wife, told the lost my spot here. She told the police that Tyreek had been arguing more frequently and stated that whenever she gives her opinion on anything they discuss, he becomes angry and throws objects around. She said the two had been attending couples therapy, but it was not working out. During their most recent argument, police said she told Tyreek that he wasn't involved enough with their child. She then said he became irritated and without malice grabbed the baby and began walking with her. Keta Hill said, also stated that she is in the process of filing for divorce. Authorities said that Tyreek Hill told the officers that he just returned from training and he was talking about the therapy with his wife when the argument escalated. Police said Tyreek admitted grabbing the baby, and he said, I have the same rights as the father as the mother. I can take my baby whenever I want. Although Hill and his wife said that the argument never turned physical, the officer said they saw a bruise on Keta Hill's upper chest. She told them it may have happened unintentionally when Hill took the baby from her, but she didn't know. And she also refused to provide a written statement to the police. They said Tyreek left the condo around 2:40 with the police officers. No arrest was made. And that's where we are. It's just another off the field incident. And this one, well, no arrest was made. Seems kind of scary. And again, there's so many other incidents. When you go back to the plus size model thing, you go back to the thing at the marina, and there's just one after another. You go back to prior to week 1, the thing with the cop when he gets pulled over on the side, put in handcuffs, wouldn't listen to orders. So it's just one of countless examples of incidents Tyreek's had, of late. And that's not even counting the stuff that happened when he was in college with the Chiefs. It's just never ending. WPLG reached out to the Miami Dolphins, and their official statement was, on Monday, we were informed that the police were called to Tyreek Hill's home, and after conversations with Tyreek and members of his family, the police departed the residence without further incident, and the case was closed. We have since been in communication with Tyreek and the NFL, and will have no further comment on this matter. And look, I had fans on social media reach out and say, "Oh, no arrest. See, it's case closed. Nothing to see here." No, just because he wasn't arrested yet and stuff, this could change. But since he wasn't arrested, even if he's not arrested in time or something changes after the fact, if the wife does provide a police report, matters might change. Doesn't mean it's over, because the NFL has suspended players who have never been arrested, who have done things wrong off the field. No arrest. NFL still suspends them. So we'll see what happens here with Hill. Before I give you my thoughts on all of this and more, quick shout out to everyone listening at finheaven.com. Everyone go to finheaven.com, largest Miami Dolphins message board on the internet. Also a shout out to our friends at the I Am a Miami Dolphins fan Facebook page, run by the great Carlos Hernandez. If you're on Facebook, please be sure you are part of the I Am a Miami Dolphins fan Facebook page. And wherever you're listening to this podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Podbean, Podchaser, iHeartRadio, Audible, YouTube, subscribe. You don't want to miss an episode. We're going to have shows pretty much every day between now and the draft. You don't want to miss them. Okay. Obviously, when this Hill news broke, social media exploded. I was on Fox Sports Radio in Pennsylvania. I was the reporter making a selection in their reporter mock draft. I was making the pick for Miami. Before we even got to the pick, I had to talk about 10 to 15 minutes on Tyreek Hill. and what's going on and what's his future in Miami. This is now big news. It's going to be all over the NFL Network. It's going to be all over ESPN. It's going to be all over Fox Sports. And it's just one thing after another with Tyreek. Tyreek makes more headlines off the field than he does on the field. It has become exhausting. Now, I was told months ago, like middle of last year, that he and his wife were going to get a divorce. I didn't say anything because, one, it's not my place. Two, it's an off-the-field personal matter. And three, players get divorced all the time. It's not even really news. But so the fact that it came out in this report that, they had been in counseling, but she's going to file for divorce now and make it, it's like, I'm not shocked by that. And that really has nothing to do with anything, but that just sort of confirmed what I had been told. But here's, as we sit here on April 9th, as I record this around, 6:30 p.m. or so roughly, the Miami Dolphins have to move on for Tyreek Hill. He's got to go. It's not about the salary cap. It's not about trade value. It's not about how him not being here anymore affects this team on the field in 2025. It's not about how you even replace him. This goes beyond football. This goes beyond winning games. This is about the Miami Dolphins organization having a little self-respect and not letting this guy continue to piss all over the organization and be an embarrassment to everyone who's tied in with this organization. Whether you're the owner, you work in the front office, you're a secretary, you work in the social media team, you're on the team, you work in the training staff, this guy embarrasses everyone in the organization. Tyreek Hill is a great player. He's going to go to Canton, first ballot Hall of Famer. No one's taking any of that away from him. And if he's not here next year, yeah, the team's going to suffer a little bit. We'll survive. It's okay. Don Shula's got to be rolling over in his grave watching this play out. What's happened with Tyreek the past few years? And I know he's had a couple great years in Miami, but, for all the good on the field, it really hasn't resulted in any playoff success. And all the bad is just kind of starting to overshadow any of the good. And I know there's going to be, especially maybe some people who are a little bit younger say, oh, the game's changed. It's not like it was when Shula coached. Things are different. Bullshit. Whether it's the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, or 2020s, if your actions as a player embarrasses the organization, embarrasses your teammates, I don't care what era it is, that player's got to go. And at what point is enough enough? I mean, what are we doing here? If this was a player on the Jets, the Bills, or the Patriots, we'd be mocking them and laughing at them. This is a guy on our team. This is embarrassing. Nobody wants to watch this guy anymore. He's a joke. He's a clown. He's not a serious human being. And yeah, he's a great football player, but you know what? There's been great football players before him. There'll be great football players after him. Hopefully Miami can find one in time, and we'll be fine without him. This is a no-brainer, folks. Just get rid of this guy. And I actually have Dolphins fans on social media, probably the same ones who are clutching their pearls. Miami can't trade for Watson. I have daughters. Miami can't trade for Watson. There's more important things in football. They're the same ones now saying, he wasn't arrested. It's fine. It's no big deal. Like, your moral compass can't go in a total 180, 360, whatever. If you were against them trading for Watson for what he did, mind you, he wasn't arrested either. Okay. Went to 3 grand juries. A grand jury will convict a potted plant. His case was brought to 3 separate grand juries. Nothing. Okay? Nothing. So don't tell me, well, Watson's worse. Bullshit. They're both bad. They're both bad people. Okay? So I don't want to hear that, because that same group of fans who clutch their pearls, oh, Watson, they're the same ones defending this guy. And that's not right. Just because one plays for Miami and one wasn't on Miami doesn't make one worse, one better. No. That's not how this works. And yeah, if this was the first time Tyreek had an incident, you give him the benefit of the doubt. You say, okay, no big deal. It happens, whatever. I don't know. You might give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. But this ain't the first time. It's like the 600th time in 3 years. The Miami Dolphins were here long before Tyreek Hill, and they're going to be here long after Tyreek Hill is no longer on this team. Send this guy packing. And this decision cannot be left up to Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel. It's time for Stephen Ross, the owner, to step in and act like an owner. Put on your big boy owner pants, step in, and end this. End it now. Greer and McDaniel are too close to this. They brought Tyreek here. They need him on the field to win in 2025 for their own personal job security. And they gave him more money for no fucking reason last August. And they're too close to this. You can't let them make the call on this matter. It's time for Stephen Ross to act like an owner, to be the final boss, to step in as the guy who signs all the checks and says Tyreek has to go. Trade, cut, don't care. Do it now, do it post June 1st, don't care. He has to go. He should send down that mandate, and then Greer and McDaniel can figure out how or why they want to do it or how they do it. But the point is, he has to go. And how bad, or should I say dumb, does Mike McDaniel look now? Because last week at the league owner meetings, when he met with the press, sitting down at his little table at 8 a.m. in the morning, and he's asked about Tyreek, and Mike McDaniel is typical Mike McDaniel fashion. Oh, I'd be pumped if Tyreek was named captain this upcoming season. That means so many good things. Mike, this is why nobody takes you seriously and nobody respects you as a head coach. You hold nobody accountable, ever. Tyreek Hill quit on your team the last game of the season in the middle of the game. He's gone on social media this entire offseason, trolled, played up reports of how he's getting traded. Peace out, I'm gone. Not taking anything seriously, which you can say, what's the big deal? If I'm paying a guy $30 million a year, I don't want him acting that way. That's why it's a big deal. This is still a job at the end of the day. And FYI, this guy's also always in trouble with the law or some dopey off-the-field drama. And if you would be happy if he's named captain, were you raised by wolves? I mean, seriously, Mike, for a guy who went to an Ivy League school, you say some dumb shit sometimes. Like, really, Mike, that was really stupid. You should have just tap dance around that question. Say, you know what? It's April. I don't know who's going to be the captain. We'll figure that out in the summer. Just move on. But no, you can't do that. You're going to co-sign with this lunatic, Tyreek Hill. And guess what? He's going to bring you down with him. And you now look like a fool 1 week later. 1 week, you look like a fool. Because that comment, which is going to be played over and over and over again, I hope he's named captain. What's this guy's a captain? What leadership has he ever shown since he's been in the NFL, since he's been in college, and especially, which really all that matters, since he's been in Miami? Name one time he's shown any leadership ability where he should be named a captain. The guy's a joke. He's a joke. Bad human being, joke, great football player. 3 different statements. They all can be true. They all can be true. Just because of 2 doesn't change the other one. He is a great player, but he's a joke, and he damn sure ain't a team captain. And thank God the Miami Dolphins did lock up Waddle, because Lord knows they've let everyone else walk the past few years, from Wilkins to Hunt to Holland to you name it. They let everyone walk. Thank God they locked up Waddle. 3 years, $85 million, $76 million, all in guaranteed money, because he needs to be the number 1 wide receiver on the Dolphins. And if Hill's not here, the Dolphins will be fine. They paid Waddle pretty much like a number 1. They'll be fine. And if there's a silver lining to any of this, which I don't know if there is, but if there is, thank God this happened prior to the draft. Because now Miami, with their 10 picks, can use one on a wide receiver. Maybe they have to use one in the early rounds, which is going to be to the detriment of the offensive line, or the detriment to the secondary, or to the detriment of the defensive line. But okay, but at least this happened prior to the draft, because now they can really start to prepare for life after Tyreek. And honestly, if Tyreek Hill plays another game for the Dolphins, I'd be shocked. I really would. And I don't want to hear from Drew Rosenhaus either. Drew, you stay quiet on this. I don't want to see you on the news. I don't want to see you on any radio shows. I don't want to see you on McAfee. Drew, sit this one out. Zip your lip on this one, Drew. You're his agent, not his lawyer. Protect his money. You can work on finding him a new team. That's your job. Nobody, and especially fans of the Dolphins, wants to hear from Drew Rosenhaus defend Tyreek in any way. I don't want to hear how he's working on himself, how he's working through some things. He's in there. Nobody needs to hear it, okay? Again, if this was the first time, it'd be one thing. It's like the 800th time. And it's always something every other week, it seems like. Nobody. So, Drew, Knight, I'm not knocking you. Just I don't want to see you all over the news trying to justify this behavior. Because Tyreek can't go a month without making headlines for something off the field. And that started long before he came to Miami, when he assaulted his pregnant girlfriend in 2014, or when he was then investigated for battery against his 3-year-old son. Or then when he came to Miami 2023, when he assaulted the worker at the marina, who he had to pay off and then go meet with Roger Goodell about so he wouldn't get suspended. Or how he's got a court date later this year, which most people don't even know about. Yes, in the middle of this year, if he is here, he's going to have to leave for like a week or so and go to court because of the plus-size model incident with Sophie Hall in his backyard. He had multiple paternity suits in 2024 where he claimed in all of them he wasn't the father. Spoiler alert, he was the father to all of them. But of course, when you're always in court saying I'm not the father, I mean, it's just, and then prior to week 1, he gets pulled over, put in handcuffs, that whole thing. Then there's a time last year he filed for divorce. The paperwork was filed. Then he said, no, I didn't. Mind you, he signed it. Then he fired the poor bastard who works for him who filed the paperwork. Like that poor guy, like, well, you told me to do it. What did I do? There's that whole saga. The guy's on social media all the time trolling that he doesn't want to be here or saying he's going to retire because he wants to be a porn star. There was the incident at the comedy club in Atlanta last year where him and his boys started some incident and Hill had to leave before things went down so he wouldn't get roped into another police situation. It's one thing after another. I mean, at what point is enough? I mean, seriously, look, I told you in the past week, 2025 is a soft rebuild for the Dolphins. And it is. It's just time to rip the Band-Aid off, make it a total rebuild. Just move on from I don't care about the cap hit. I don't care about trade compensation. First off, the cap hit now is really bad. The cap hit after June 1st ain't great. Pick your poison. Pick one. You want to do it after June 1st, fine. As long as he's gone, I don't care. He can't be here anymore because this is just a distraction that's never going to end. You know, fans of the Dolphins last week were upset. Oh, we can't go on Hard Knocks. That's a distraction. No, that's not a distraction. This is a distraction. Not Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks is not a distraction. That's a mild inconvenience. Who cares? No big deal. We were just on it anyways. It's like they all know how to act around the cameras. Who cares? This is a real distraction. And as I've said 100 times, the perfect example, well, there's two now. Stephon Diggs last year, the Bills cut him because he was a pain in the ass. I think they ate like $30 million or $33 million. He's gone. And guess what happened? Bills didn't miss a beat. They won the division again. They won playoff games again. If it wasn't for the Chiefs, they probably would have maybe even won the Super Bowl. Who knows? They didn't miss a beat. Sometimes it's addition by subtraction. And the most perfect example, which I've said over and over, is Jeremy Shockey. Go back like 18, 19 years, whatever it's been. Shockey's with the Giants, a young Eli Manning. Shockey was an asshole. Just going to say it. He was. And he gets hurt late in the year. Once he gets hurt and he's no longer at practice, he's no longer around the team, and Eli could just do his thing and not have to worry about this guy who just sucks all the oxygen out of the room everywhere he goes. The Giants get hot, and then they get in the playoffs, and the Giants win a Super Bowl without Jeremy Shockey. And Jeremy Shockey sitting up in a suite watching the Giants win a Super Bowl, sipping on his beer with the boo-boo face, because that was the moment that the Giants realized Shockey is an anchor on this team. We don't need him. As great as he was, and he was like the best tight end or one of the best tight ends of that time, that year. So they were like, who cares? Because everyone around him was just more relaxed when the asshole wasn't in the room. And guess what the Giants did that offseason? They traded Shockey to the Saints, and like a year later, the Giants won a second Super Bowl. The Dolphins will be fine without Tyreek Hill. The Dolphins will be fine. It's not the end of the world, folks. I know it might seem that way today in April, but it's not like we're winning playoff games with him, okay? And his stats from year one to year, like they keep going down since he's been here. I know you're going to say, well, there's no Tua, there's no Tua. Well, guess what? Tua's probably going to miss more games. The point is Dolphins will be fine without Tyreek Hill. And if they keep him around, and come September, week 1, or if he's suspended, week 3, 4, whatever, he's on the field, suited up for the Dolphins. This organization is a bigger joke than many already think they are. And things inside this organization are actually worse than they are. It's time for the Miami Dolphins to grow a set of balls and do the right thing. That's all for today's show. Be sure to check out the website, DolphinsTalk.com, for all the latest on the Miami Dolphins. Be sure to follow us on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, at Dolphins Talk, and Blue Sky, at Dolphins Talk. And again, Dolphins Talk Extra. If you want to be part of our interactive mock draft, if you want to be the general manager of one or two, or possibly three random NFL teams. Only betting, we got like 12 people signed up, so it's like if everyone gets two, it's 24. I'm sure we'll have a few more. So you'll probably be a GM of at least two teams. Go to patreon.com/DolphinsTalk. Sign up for Dolphins Talk Extra, $3 a month. You get access to all the perks of being a Dolphins Talk Extra member, and also then sign up for the interactive mock draft by Friday, because the following Friday, April 18th, we're all going to jump on a call like this, and we're going to do a mock draft. And when it's whatever team you're assigned, if you're assigned the Indianapolis Colts, when the Colts are on the clock, we're going to bring on Joe from wherever, and you're going to make the pick for the Colts. Then you go back in the waiting room and call up the next few picks, and then say your second team is the Chargers. Well, the Chargers are on the clock. Joe, you're back on. Make your pick. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have some laughs. Maybe we'll have some stuff to give away during the mock draft. I don't know. We'll see. But patreon.com/DolphinsTalk, $3 a month to sign up for that. But also you get everything else that comes with being a Dolphins Talk Extra member. Everyone, thank you for listening to today's show. Have a great rest of your Wednesday night. Have a great Thursday. We'll talk to you again after a while. And folks, don't forget, we must put an end to highway profanity. Hey guys, Mike here from DolphinsTalk.com. Just want to thank you for watching this video today. Please be sure to like and subscribe to this video. And also just thank you in general. I know you have a lot of other podcast options out there these days, whether it's with the Miami Dolphins or about the Miami Dolphins, and with non-Miami Dolphins podcast stuff like true crime, politics, NBA, Major League Baseball. We do appreciate the support you guys provide us, and we do thank you for watching our content. We appreciate it more than you'll ever know. So thank you so much. Just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And also, don't forget to sign up for our Patreon service. Go to patreon.com/DolphinsTalk. And for just $3 a month, you will get more Miami Dolphins coverage and shows. Patreon.com/DolphinsTalk. Thank you again, and everyone have a great day.